Good evening. Laudato Si, Pope Francis, Encyclical on ecology and environment. And I'm going to read article number 10. Laudato Si. It is also known as paragraph. Article or paragraph number 10. So if you have a copy of Laudato Si or if you have a PDF file in your computer, you can follow as I read article number 10. I do not want to write this encyclical without turning to that attractive and compelling figure whose name I took as my guide and inspiration when I was elected Bishop of Rome. When Pope Francis was elected as the Pope, he took the name Francis, named after the 12th and the 13th century saint Francis of Assisi. So 800 years back, Francis of Assisi lived in Italy and he cared for creation. He cared everything in creation. Humans, animals, plants, land, God. He had three-tiered relationship with God, with creation, and with other parts of animals and plants, and also with humans. It's a three-tiered relationship, always together. You can't fragment it. God, human, creation. These are the three-tiered relationship. So when you maintain this three-tiered relationship, I think you are treading on the right path. And if there is conflict in this three-tiered relationship, that is sin. That is separation. It is not union. So Pope Francis is taking the name of Saint Francis of Assisi. I believe that Saint Francis is the example par excellence of care for the vulnerable and of an integral ecology lived out joyfully and authentically. Integral ecology, what does Pope mean by that? That is relationship with God, relationship with human, the other people, and relationship with rest of creation. This three-tiered relationship is integral ecology. He is the patron saint of all who study and work in the area of ecology, and he is also much loved by non-Christians everywhere in the world. Hindus, Muslims, Zoroastrians, Buddhists, everybody loves Saint Francis of Assisi because his spirituality was integral. Integral. There is no dichotomy. His life was a simple life based on humility. When you have humility and simplicity, you can relate with God without any problem. We can relate with other humans without any difficulty. We can relate with the rest of creation without any inhibition because you have simplicity and humility. He was particularly concerned for God's creation and for the poor and outcast. He loved and was deeply loved for his joy, his generous self-giving, his open-heartedness. He was a mystic and a pilgrim who lived in simplicity and in wonderful harmony with God, with others, with nature, and with himself. That is integral ecology. He shows us just how inseparable the bond is between concern for nature, justice for the poor, commitment to society, and interior peace. I think Francis Assisi is the best example. So before you attempt to read Pope's encyclical Laudato Si, I think you need to do some research in internet and study about St. Francis of Assisi as well, and that will help you to understand this encyclical better. So he was the poor saint, miserable saint. He was he didn't have anything in his life. He renounced everything. He lived on streets, lived on begging. His monks were mendicants, begging food, and they didn't own anything. And they associated, they identified with other poor of Assisi. Not only that, and then Francis of Assisi preached to the birds, talked to the birds, and he blessed the bees, and he gave wine to the bees. He was so much compassion towards bees and other insects. And he cared for the garden in his priory. And he told the prior not to cultivate a portion of land where wild herbs and wild flowers can grow. When people look at them, they can thank the Creator and thank the God for the beauty and for the smell and for the scent of the flowers. And Francis of Assisi lived 800 years back. And at that time, nobody cared for him. Nobody took him seriously. But 800 years after, Pope Francis cared for the message of peace, message of St. Francis of Assisi. Better late than never. So even though late, Pope Francis is doing so beautifully well and bringing the message of St. Francis of Assisi to the attention of the world people. So 7 billion of us should read the life history of St. Francis of Assisi and also read this Laudato Si, the encyclical, which is addressed to all people of goodwill. It is not only for Christians or Catholics, no. It's addressed to everybody of goodwill, those who have an open heart, those who have an open mind, those who have simplicity and humility, can read, and we can attempt to save creation. Even though it is too late, we can still do it. That is what Pope Francis is saying in this encyclical. And he leads the way. Let us follow Pope Francis. And thank you, and God bless.